Fenway. The Red Sox walked all over the White Sox for their 8th win in the last 10 games. Tim Wakefield is coming off his best outing of the year. And for tonight's Saturday night special, he'll take his knuckleball up against Bartolo Colon, who two-hit the Sox last week. Live from Fenway Park, NESN presents Boston Red Sox baseball. Tonight, the Red Sox take on the Chicago White Sox. Hi, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. A fine victory last night for the Red Sox. Tonight, they run into Bartolo Colon.
Well, last night's victory was gift-wrapped by the Chicago White Sox. They just walked Red Sox hitters all over the ballpark, Don. But tonight's going to be a difficult challenge. Bartolo Colon, one of the top pitchers in the American League. He's a bull. He's got back-to-back complete games. He's pitched very well against the Red Sox this year, but he is 0-2 against Boston.
Tim Wakefield on the mound for the Red Sox, and it's next on NESN. Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, by your Boston area Lexus dealers, by Citizens Bank, and by Dunkin' Donuts. And good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Fenway Park, Game 2 of the series between the Red Sox and the White Sox. And it is a cool evening here tonight at Fenway Park. Not much of a breeze. It was blowing in moments ago from left center field, but not much of a breeze here tonight. And already on the dark side as we get towards the end of the season tonight, the Red Sox playing game number 147 of the year. And Roberto Alomar standing in here for the White Sox to begin the ball game tonight. Their leadoff hitter and the second baseman for the White Sox. Tim Wakefield on the mound tonight for the Red Sox, bringing his 10-6 record with him into tonight's action. And it has that fall feel to it here tonight at Fenway. A lot of the players wearing long sleeves, and that includes the visiting White Sox. Roberto Alomar standing in with the long sleeves, ready to go here on the left side against Tim Wakefield. And the first pitch of this one missing outside, ball one.
Look at the numbers for Tim Wakefield. This is start number 30 on the season. He is 10-6, coming off a very strong outing against the New York Yankees last time out. 7 innings in that game, 4 hits and no runs. He walked 3 and struck out 2. Beat Roger Clemens for the second time this season.
Alomar takes the strike and the count 2-1. Alomar coming over from the Mets at the trade deadline, one of the newer members of the White Sox. On the ground to Todd Walker. Throws out Roberto Alomar for out number 1. Let's take a look at the rest of the White Sox starting lineup, brought to you by Dodge. We've seen Alomar, Carlos Lee bat second in left field, Frank Thomas the DH, Maglio Ordonez in right field, Carl Everett in center, Paul Konerko at first base, Jose Valentin the shortstop, Joe Creedy at third, and Miguel Olivo does the catching, and he bats ninth. It is 64 degrees here tonight at Fenway Park to begin the game. An east wind at 7 miles per hour to begin the ball game tonight. Another potent hitter for the White Sox, Carlos Lee, 289, 28 home runs, and 100 runs batted in. White Sox in the second half have been very good this season at 33-20 since the All-Star break. This is line to left field, a base hit. Manny Ramirez moving over to cut it off. Wide turn for Carlos Lee. He'll retreat to the bag at first with a one-out single.
Well, the defense tonight for the Red Sox, they'll have Bill Miller at third base, Nomar the shortstop, Todd Walker at second, and Kevin Millar at first. Left to right, Manny Ramirez, Johnny Damon, and Gabe Kapler. Doug Mirabelli behind the plate, and of course Tim Wakefield doing the pitching.
Angel Hernandez has the plate tonight. Sam Holbrook at first base, Lance Barksdale at second, and Paul Schreiber, the umpire, at third. Carlos Lee off with the pitch, and the throw down for Mirabelli not in time. So Carlos Lee with a theft of second base.
Yeah, not wasting any time going on that very first pitch. Carlos Lee picks up his 18th steal of the season. Backhanded play by Mirabelli out of the dirt, but not in time to get Lee. Lee almost came up short on that slide. at second base.
And the pitch to Frank Thomas in there for a strike to even the count at 1-1. Thomas, the DH, great numbers. The batting average at .265, 40 home runs, and 94 runs batted in. Thomas second only to Alex Rodriguez in home runs. As A-Rod begins the night with 42 home runs on the season for the Texas Rangers. Frank Thomas second with 40 home runs. And really a bounce-back season for Frank Thomas. Second time in his career that he's had 40 or more home runs in a season. There's some question last year as to whether or not Frank Thomas would be back in a White Sox uniform this year. And he is back and then some. So it straightens him up. Feel that time with the fastball, and it's 2-2.
Last night, Jeff Suppan early in the ball game went up and in on Frank Thomas. Wakefield does the same thing with his fastball to run the count to 2-2.
In the air to left field. Manny Ramirez heading back. He's got it sized up shy of the track. He makes the catch for out number 2.
Well, let's check tonight's game notes brought to you by New England Toyota dealers. The Red Sox 22-9 this season against the American League Central. The White Sox 33-20 since the All-Star break. And 216 home runs. The Red Sox are tied with Texas for the lead in the American League. The White Sox are third. They've hit 205.
Where available, tonight's broadcast can be heard in Spanish by using the SAP function on your TV set.
Buenas noches, amigos.
2 down, a runner at second base, Maglio Ordonez. Big strike one from Tim Wakefield. Ordonez, the right fielder, having a much better second half than the first half. 321, 27 homers and 89 runs batted in. Ordonez quickly in the hole, 0-2. He's fourth in the American League with a .321 batting average. He's hit at .366 since the All-Star break, which is the best in the American League. Overall, that batting average at .321 has him fourth. He was 12 points behind the league leader, Boston's Bill Miller. Popped up right side. Down from first comes Kevin Millar about halfway down the line, and he takes care of out number 3. Red Sox strand a man. They get nothing. Red Sox coming up. Back at Fenway as we head to the bottom half of the first inning. The White Sox do not score in the top of the first inning. And the Red Sox coming up here in the last of the first. Johnny Damon, Todd Walker, and Nomar Garciaparra to face Bartolo Colon.
Bartolo Colon 13-12 on the season. The 3.99 ERA, 7 complete games, and he's working right now on back-to-back complete games. He's among the lead leaders in strikeouts with 162. 0-2 though this season against the Red Sox, and in his career only 4-8.
Amazing in that last outing that we saw Bartolo Colon in Chicago, giving up just 2 hits in that outing. And unfortunately for him, they were both home runs, and his team did not really score against the Red Sox. So he got virtually no run support, even though he had the complete game 2 hitter, and lost. As the Red Sox are able to sweep the brief 2-game series in Chicago on what was a very favorable trip for the Red Sox, in which they went 7-2. Lined into left center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Carlos Lee over to play it. And Johnny Damon's aboard to begin things in the bottom of the first inning. Let's take a look at the Red Sox starting lineup brought to you by Dodge. We've seen Johnny Damon, Todd Walker bat second and second base. Nomar at shortstop, Manny Ramirez in left, David Ortiz the DH, Kevin Millar at first base, Bill Miller at third, Doug Mirabelli doing the catching for Tim Wakefield, and Abe Kapler getting the start in right field batting ninth. So Damon aboard to begin things here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's Todd Walker. goes Damon on the first pitch, and the throw down is going to be there in time to get Damon. Tough play down there for Valentin, but he makes the play and applies the tag, and Johnny Damon is caught stealing.
Now Miguel Olivo, the catcher, excellent behind home plate. He has thrown out 37% of the runners this season. He had to go across his body, backhand the ball, and then that one hop Valentin makes a nice play at the other end to get Johnny Damon at second base. So guys not waiting around. We saw Carlos Lee take off right away. Johnny Damon the same thing, but Johnny Damon is caught.
So one down. Todd Walker taking a ball. Here's the 1-0. Line to right. On the move is Ordonez. He dives and makes the catch. Nice running, diving catch by Maglio Ordonez, and there's 2 down.
And he got an excellent jump on this ball, Don. Ordonez was off at the crack of the bat.
A shortstop.
And even the hard line drive by Walker, he's able to chase down. Makes the catch, then goes into the slide. Nice play by Ordonez. We mentioned last night that the Chicago club, one of the big improvements this year has been the defense.
You go out and you obtain guys like Roberto Alomar, who has 10 Gold Gloves at second base, and a healthy Carl Everett in center field to boot, and they have gotten better defensively since the break as well. As Nomar stands in with 2 down, nobody on. Garcia Parra, 311, 25 home runs, 96 runs batted in. He starts the night 10th in the American League in batting at 311. He has slipped some lately. 3 for his last 27. And that has dropped his batting average from 320 down to the 311 he currently stands at. Skies this one to left. Carlos Lee moves in a step or 2. And makes the catch for the final out of the inning. The Red Sox retired in the first. We played 1 from Fenway. No score. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy back at Fenway as we head to the top half of the second inning. Scoreless at the end of 1. And Carl Everett leads it off here against Tim Wakefield. Big swing from Everett, who was booed upon his announcement here at Fenway Park. 286, 27 homers, 83 runs batted in for Everett between his time as a member of the Texas Rangers and the Chicago White Sox. Swing and a miss. 1 and 2 now to Everett.
Everett had a good night last night. A couple of hits in game 1 of this series. He's 4 for 5, as you can see, against Wakefield in his career.
Would shoot for 4 with a double and a home run. A couple of runs scored in last night's game, and he takes strike 3 from Wakefield. First strikeout of the night for Tim Wakefield.
Well, you see Everett telling the home plate umpire that that ball was up. Looked like a pretty good pitch by Wakefield. Wakefield first strikeout of the night. That's 153. He is 9th in the American League on strikeouts. They may have went by Everett up a little bit, but certainly looked pretty good by the time it got to Mirabelli.
So 1 away here in the second inning, and here's Paul Konerko. Providence-born Paul Konerko. For a first-round draft choice of the LA Dodgers. He hits at 251, 18 homers, and 65 runs batted in. In there for a strike, and it's 1-1. A lot of these White Sox hitters had miserable first halves, and Paul Konerko can be at the top of that list. Hitting under 200, a very good hitter, Paul Konerko. The second half, more Paul Konerko like at 322 in the second half. You can put Maglio Ordonez also on that list of players who had a miserable first half. And out of the gate, everybody had predicted the White Sox would win the division. They still may. But the first half they had was dreadful. And they were trying to find their offense, a very good offensive team. And they have found it here in the second half.
Well, they start tonight in a dead heat with the Minnesota Twins.
Many that thought this gentleman, Jerry Manuel, would be fired early on in the season, but they have turned things around. Konerko fouls it off. Still 2-2.
Wakefield's had 1 start this year against Chicago, and in that start he did lose. As we look at the American League Central standings, Kansas City now 3.5 back behind Chicago and Minnesota. Wakefield 0-1 this year against the White Sox, but only 2 earned runs in 7 innings in that game.
2-2. Missing away and a full count now to Konerko. And Wakefield trying to get his 11th win of the year as he comes in at 10-6. A 4.30 earned run average. 32nd appearance. 30th start of the year. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Tim Wakefield. 2 down.
Well, H.B. Hood is rooting for the Red Sox and kids throughout New England. Each time the Red Sox strike out an opponent, make a double play, or hit a home run at Fenway, Hood donates $100 to the Hood Home Team Advantage Fund, which in turn benefits children's hospitals all over New England.
So 2 down, 4 in a row. Retired by Tim Wakefield, and will now do with Jose Valentin. Lined and snared at second base by Todd Walker. It's a 1-2-3 second inning for Tim Wakefield. He played an inning and a half, no score. Back at Fenway as we head to the last of this second inning. Manny Ramirez to lead it off. Ramirez, Ortiz, and Millar to face Bartolo Colon. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Manny at 322, 32 home runs and 95 runs batted in. He begins tonight third in the American League in hitting. Miller is the league leader at 333, then Derek Jeter at 325, and then Manny Ramirez at 322. Looking away with hard stuff at 96 miles per hour that time from Cologne.
Yeah, the last two fastballs from Cologne, 96, and the one previous to that, 97. Remember the game in Chicago, that's the game Manny did not start. Grady Little saying he was putting his best team on the field, and that's the particular day that Manny did not start against the White Sox.
2-1, chopped up over the mound towards second. Alomar has it, and he throws out Manny Ramirez for the first out of the inning. Boston Red Sox baseball. NESN is brought to you by your New England Toyota dealers, by Bob Stores, by Coors Light, by Volvo, the official vehicle of the Red Sox, and by Foxwoods Resort Casino. So 1 down here in the second inning, and it brings up David Ortiz, Red Sox DH, batting 5th, hitting at 289, 26 home runs and 91 runs batted in. Other times you see Cologne increase his velocity during his outings, but I can't imagine him throwing much harder than he has here already tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to better the 97 that he threw to Ramirez in that last at bat. Take a look at the scouting report on Bartolo Colon. Anywhere from 92 to 98. He'll occasionally turn over the fastball. Change up. We saw a lot of those in his first outing against Boston. That's the change up there.
Hard hit, but on the ground to Alomar. Throws out Ortiz, and there's 2 down.
Well, game time is Miller time at Fenway and on NESN. Stop by a participating Fenway area retailer before game time. You can win free tickets to the game and end up on NESN. And the game time is Miller time. Fenway seats. See anybody out there tonight, Don?
I really don't. I'm sure they're there, though. 2 down, Kevin Millar will be next to face Bartolo Colon, who gave up a single to Johnny Damon in the first inning, but so far that's been it. Millar juices one to left field, but Carlos Lee back on the dirt of the warning track to bring it in. Red Sox go in order in the second. We played 2, no score. Back at Fenway as Joe Creedy leads it off against Tim Wakefield. Scoreless through the first 2 innings. Both teams with 1 hit. And Joe Creedy trying to hold up. Did he? They'll appeal first. He did not offer, says Sam Holbrook, the first base umpire. Joe Creedy at 261, 18 homers and 66 runs batted in. Wild swing, 2-1.
Looks like Creedy taking that approach on the knuckleball. Swing as hard as I possibly can. Hope to make contact and hit it out of the ballpark.
It's on the ground to third. Bill Miller is there, and the long throw gets there in plenty of time for out number 1. Sox fans, here is your shot at owning a piece of Red Sox history. Visit boston.com/NESN to bid on an authentic Red Sox jersey and baseball autographed by the members of the 2003 team. 100% of the proceeds from the auction will be donated to the Jimmy Fund. Bidding ends on Thursday, September 18th at 9 p.m. and the winner will be announced live on WB Mason's Extra Innings. One down for Miguel Olivo, number 9 hitter and catcher for the White Sox. 236 homers and 24 runs batted in. Olivo has hit safely in 3 of his last 4 games and at 243 over the last 15 games. Pops this up, foul ground. Mirabelli moves over with the mask in hand. Leans in and can't make the catch.
Looked like Mirabelli had a little bit longer or further to go to try to make that play. He reached over with the one hand. You can't blame the fan because the ball is not on the field of play. You know, when it's out over that fence, obviously if a fan reaches over, it's fan interference. Not the case there.
Wakefield strikes him out, takes matters into his own hands. Here's strikeout number 3 for Tim Wakefield. There's 2 down.
Well, it's not too late to get your copy of the official 2003 Boston Red Sox yearbook featuring full-page photos of all your favorite Red Sox. To order this 190-page collector's edition, send a check for $15 to Yearbook, P.O. Box 1616, Boston, Mass. 02130.
7 in a row retired by Tim Wakefield. Top of the order as we go second time through here. Roberto Alomar grounded out to second base his first time up. A 269 career hitter against Tim Wakefield. Showed bunt and grabbed the attention of Bill Miller, charging from third base.
Tim Wakefield also charging toward third base. Wakefield generally gets an excellent jump on bunts. You know, he tries to determine which way that hit is going to go, third base or first base, and he'll just break in that direction.
1-1 slap foul off the left side, and it's 1-2.
Right out of the luxury box.
Another botched play by a luxury box patron. Opens up at 2-2 to Alomar. Wakefield's thrown 39 pitches so far tonight through 2 2/3. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Tim Wakefield, his 4th of the night. In order to go the White Sox again. We played 2.5, no score. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy along with Tom Caron back at Fenway Park as we head to the last half of the 3rd inning. A scoreless contest so far tonight from Fenway. The bottom 3rd of the Boston order. Bill Miller, Doug Mirabelli, and Gabe Kapler. Miller with a big swing. 0-2 to the league's leader. 333 to begin the night for Bill Miller. 19 home runs and 79 runs batted in. He's hit safely in 8 straight games, hitting at .516 over the last 8 games. On the ground, right side. Alomar dives from the outfield grass. He throws out Bill Miller. 10-time Gold Glove Award winner Roberto Alomar takes care of out number 1.
Those are plays we were certainly accustomed to seeing by Alomar when he was a member of the Cleveland Indians in the American League. Diving to his left, increasing his range by going out on the outfield grass and throwing out Bill Miller at first base. It takes a base hit away from the American League leading hitter.
One down. Here's Doug Mirabelli getting the start tonight as usual with Tim Wakefield on the mound. Mirabelli at .264, 5 homers and 16 runs batted in. Only 94 miles per hour that last fastball. He's been operating anywhere from 94 to 97 here so far in the early going. his weight has often been mentioned. I wouldn't call it a problem because I don't think he sees it as a problem, but he has fluctuated up and down with the weight. But the one thing that has been a constant has been his base. Very, very strong legs. And as you mentioned, a workhorse, a guy who is used to going deep into games, has 2 complete games back to back coming into tonight's outing. Belly strikes out for out number 2. First strikeout of the night for Cologne. Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Lincoln Mercury, by LoJack, by Aflac, by Citizens Bank, and by G. Two down here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and it brings up Gabe Kapler, who gets another start in right field for the Red Sox in the absence of Trot Nixon.
Now, between innings, up on the scoreboard at Fenway Park, they notified the crowd that it is John Henry's birthday today, principal owner of the Red Sox. So happy birthday to John Henry.
This is line down the left field line, bending foul. Out of play. It's 0-2. I think John is 40, 45, somewhere in there.
I really don't know, Don.
Really wish him
Nice
a very
try.
happy birthday. Doesn't look much over 30, 35, somewhere in there. There's John enjoying his birthday tonight. Swing and a miss. Cologne with back-to-back strikeouts, and the Red Sox down in order in the 3rd. We played 3, no score. In Boston, and Jerry, I think that says NESN up there on the Peru, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, look at that, huh? He's really getting big. NESN, Comcast, I saw go by there, and something about HD.
What is HD?
Hot dogs, I think. Home delivery.
Yes, that clearly says Comcast. Well, we head to the top of the 4th inning. Wonder what that is about.
9:15 up there, too. That's Monday, isn't it? 9:15?
Yes, yeah. That's true. This is crushed deep to left field, down the line by Carlos Lee. If it stays fair, it's gone. It's a fair ball, and it's gone. Carlos Lee, with his 29th home run of the year, has put the White Sox on top 1-0.
You know, Don, it's interesting. We watched Carlos Lee actually kind of limp into the dugout a couple of innings ago like he hurt himself in the outfield. Well, it certainly didn't have an effect on this swing. The only question here was whether the ball was going to be fair or foul, because he certainly has plenty of distance on this.
Well, Tim Wakefield had retired 8 in a row. And he gives up the home run to Carlos Lee. Tim has given up 2 hits tonight, both to Lee. One a single and now a home run. And as the White Sox on top 1-0. And Thomas flied out to left field his first time up. He does have 3 home runs off Tim Wakefield. And swinging for a home run there as he strikes out. Wakefield makes quick work of him. 5th strikeout tonight for Tim Wakefield. We're in the 4th inning, and the 4th inning is brought to you by KFC's new $4 meals. Real meals, real value.
And a different look that time from Wakefield. He dropped down to the side to throw the knuckleball against Frank Thomas to pick up the strikeout.
The home run given up by Tim Wakefield is the 22nd this season. Lead the club in that category. Maglio Ordonez popped out to first base his first time up. He's a .500 hitter against Tim Wakefield with a home run of his own. And he shoots it towards right center field. Kapler moving over. And Gabe's there to take care of out number 2. 2 down in the inning. It's time now for the Aflac trivia question. And our question tonight: who is the last opposing player to hit 3 home runs in a game at Fenway Park? The answer for you in the next half inning. 2 down for Carl Everett. He struck out looking his first time and had words for the home plate umpire, Angel Hernandez. Up there taking a big hack this time. Yankees winning 6-5 in game 1 of a doubleheader. In game 2, they're tied 2-2 in the top of the second inning.
I think they had a little rain delay down there in New York before that second game. They did have an R on the scoreboard just a little while ago.
This will be the 50th pitch of the night for Tim Wakefield. It's grounded back up the middle into center field. Carl Everett has the White Sox 3rd hit of the night.
Well, a big swing and miss on the knuckleball on the Everett, but then he gets the fastball down and shoots it up the middle for the base hit. So Carl Everett now with a 6-game hitting streak. He continues to swing the bat well against Wakefield. 5 for 7 now in his career against Tim Wakefield.
Everett, since coming to the White Sox, has been hitting at .300 with Chicago. 9 home runs, 32 runs batted in with the White Sox. He stands at first with 2 down, and Wakefield will check on Everett at first. There is a threat to steal, especially when Everett is healthy, and he has been healthy this season. Floats in there outside to Paul Konerko. Struck out swinging his first time up back in the second inning.
Don, when we get a chance, I'd like to send best wishes to Detective Bob Bowes, the Boston Police Department. He's been down that third base dugout for a number of years. He's recovering from heart surgery, so we certainly wish him well and a speedy recovery.
He gets back there very soon. Wakefield has been most concerned with Carl Everett over there at first base. White Sox are 33-20 in the second half of the season. They're tied with the Yankees for the second best record in the American League, only behind Minnesota, who's had the best record since the All-Star break. The Twins are 34-20 in the second half. At one point, the White Sox were 8 games out of first place. That was at the All-Star break, and they have since, of course, made up the 8 games in the standings as a result of their great second half. They lead the American League in hitting since the break, hitting at .293 as a club. Well, look at the top teams in the American League since the break. Red Sox at 33-20. The Red Sox also have done very well since the All-Star break. 3-0 pitch missing, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Paul Konerko. First walk of the night given up by Tim Wakefield.
That's all we saw in the game last night were walks, and of course all of that coming from the Chicago White Sox side. Cologne does not have a walk in the ball game tonight, and as you mentioned, Don, that's the first for Tim Wakefield. You know, it's the first time ever you've had a better monitor than I have.
Yes, usually it's a reverse.
I have to watch your monitor really to see what's going on in the game.
Yours is kind of dark.
Yeah, it's like really, really bad.
We could switch seats if you want.
I wouldn't be able to do the game, I don't think, on that side.
You've never been over here, have you?
No.
I mean, there's not as much room here as there is over there. Plus, you have Wally there, and you got your whole setup, your telestrator, which I'm never allowed to touch.
The telestrator is actually clearer than the monitor.
I noticed. I don't know why that is. You also have some purple thing going on there in the bottom right corner. That can't be good. There's Abe Valentine, the shortstop, lined out to second base his first time up. Everett at second, Konerko at first. White Sox threatening here with 2 outs in the inning and a run already in. This is line to right. That'll fall in there for a base hit. Everett will be sent around. Kepler is throwing. It is not in time, and Everett will score. The runners will move up as it bounced off Mirabelli and behind him. And it'll be Konerko going to third base and Valentin up to second. He gets credit for an RBI single that has the White Sox on top 2-0.
Well, twice the damage here because Valentin first of all drives in and run with a base hit. Everett scoring on the head for a slide, but then the ball gets by Mirabelli, and that's going to allow two guys to move in a scoring position. The men had stopped at first and second, but once that ball got past Mirabelli, they both move up in a scoring position. I'd imagine that's a base hit RBI, and there's going to have to be an error somewhere involved there.
They charge Mirabelli with the error. That allows Konerko to go to third and Valentin to move up to second base. And here's Joe Creedy. Creedy grounded out to third base in the third inning. He's 0 for 1 against Wakefield. Base safely in 11 straight games as Creedy, and over the last 11 games he's hit a .326. 0-2 missing, and it's 1-2. This is hit a ton to left, but bending foul. That'll get out of here, but foul to the left of the pole down there.
That's kind of the same approach that Creedy was taking in that first at bat, Don. Just swing as hard as you can and hope if you make contact, the ball goes a long way. Pull that one a long way, but foul.
Well, the 1-2. Little pop up out to short center field. Out goes Garciaparra to run it down to end the inning. But the White Sox come up with a pair. We played 3.5. Chicago on top 2-0. Donald Rosillo, Jerry Remy, and Tom Caron back at Fenway Park as we head to the last half of the fourth inning. The White Sox on top now 2-0. As the White Sox able to put together 2 runs for Bartolo Colon in the top half of this inning. And Johnny Damon leading it off. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Damon, Walker, and Garciaparra. Johnny does have a home run against Bartolo Colon in his career. Trails in the count 1-2.
Cool tonight at Fenway, but not quite as cool as last night. Not as much of a breeze here tonight.
Bartolo Colon was a 20-game winner for the first time last season. He had identical records in Cleveland and in Montreal. He was 10-4 in Cleveland, 10-4 in Montreal. Opposite field and falling fast in there for a base hit that gets by Carlos Lee to the track of the wall. Damon's going to run a while. Round second as Lee gets it quickly back there on the dirt of the track, and standing at second base to begin the inning is Johnny Damon. Misplayed by Carlos Lee and left.
You've heard me say it all season long, though, Don. That's why you play shallow in Fenway Park. I mean, this ball gets by Lee. He tries to come in and make a catch, but it's going to get by him. And even as far as he has to go, chasing it back to the wall, Damon's only can get to second base. And in the ballpark, that continues to roll for a while, and Johnny's at least at third, maybe thinking 4. Here at Fenway, a double.
Gets credit for his second hit of the night. The error in left by Carlos Lee gets him to second base. The Red Sox have a runner in scoring position for the first time in the game. Todd Walker lined out to right field his first time up.
thing Colon has done this season. He's given up 24 home runs. That is the most on the Chicago White Sox pitching staff.
Over the last 19 games, Todd Walker hitting at .343. He sends it on the ground right side. Allenmeyer is there, and he throws out Walker, but with the ground ball to the right side, Damon on to third. Boston Red Sox baseball. NESN is brought to you by KFC and the new everyday $4 meals. Great meals, great prices at KFC. It's an everyday deal.
Don, it's almost like Colon helped out Todd Walker get his job done. He's trying to pull the ball to advance Johnny Damon at third base, and he got a couple of change-ups from Colon, and obviously that's easier to pull than his fastball.
So Johnny Damon at third, one down. Here's Garcia Parra. He'll fly it out to left field his first time up. It's out of the way. Hard stuff inside. Colon can bring it harder. That was 90 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's the fastball there that he tries to turn over. That one's only at 90, 91.
They play for Garcia Parra to go the other way. Everett a step or two towards right center, the White Sox center fielder. And they work Garcia Parra away, but Colon falling behind 2-0.
Infield back for Jerry Manuel with the 2-0 lead here in the fourth inning. Last night early in the game, Manuel was playing the infield in.
There's a strike. Garcia Parra was jumping back, but he gets the bad news from Angel Hernandez.
Looks like Angel has had a pretty decent sized strike zone for the pitchers so far in this ball game.
The same area, but that was not called a strike, and it's 3-1. Lohmeyer lifts it in the air to center field. This will send Everett back almost to the warning track in center, and plenty deep enough for Damon to tag up and jog home with the Red Sox first run of the night.
Now Nomar, who's had a scuffle recently at the bat, gets the RBI here with the sacrifice fly. He got the breaking ball from Bartolo Colon, hit it pretty well, and chases Everett just in front of the warning track where he makes the catch. So the Red Sox kind of manufacture a run here. They got the break with the ball going by Carlos Lee. That put Damon at second base. Walker pulls the ball to get him to third base, and Nomar with the sacrifice fly to get him home.
So 2 down, and here's Manny Ramirez, who grounded out to second base his first time up. Well, a month of September it has been for Manny. Only 8 games so far, but still hitting at .414.
And the 15-game hitting streak stopped last night, taking the 0 for 4 in game 1 of this series.
The 15-gamer was a season high for Manny Ramirez. At .421 during that streak, 24 for 57. Malone just missing and kind of staring in as he trails in the count 2-1.
Also, at one time, Manny and Colon teammates with the Cleveland Indians.
Missing away, 3-1 to Manny. Again, ball 4 in the first walk of the night given up by Bartolo Colon. It's time now for the answer to our Aflac trivia question. And the question tonight, who is the last opposing player to hit 3 home runs in a game at Fenway Park? He's here tonight. Frank Thomas, going into 1996. The Red Sox ended up winning that game 9-8, despite the 3 home runs from Frank Thomas. The Red Sox have used the home run ball here tonight. Solo shot by Carlos Lee to open up the 4th inning. They got 2 runs in the top of the 4th. The Red Sox have answered so far with 1 run here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Ramirez at first, and here's David Ortiz. Soft grounder back to the mound. Colon throws out Ortiz, and that concludes the 4th inning. The 4th inning is brought to you by KFC's new $4 meals. Real meals, real value. It's 2-1 White Sox at the end of 4. Back at Fenway with the White Sox on top 2-1 as we head to the top half of the 5th inning. Number 9 hitter and catcher Miguel Olivo. The strikeout victim his first time in the 3rd inning. One of 5 strikeouts tonight for Tim Wakefield. He has walked 1. And Olivo stays alive, getting a piece of that pitch. Red Sox came up with 2 runs in the top of the 4th inning. A home run for Carlos Lee. An RBI single for Jose Valentin. Swing and a miss. Olivo down by way of the K for the 2nd time tonight. 6th strikeout for Tim Wakefield. Let's find Tom Caron. Tom.
Don, thank you. We're here with Bernie Carbo. And when you start getting this September into October feel at Fenway, always great to talk to someone who's lived it. You were saying before, nothing better than playing here in the fall.
Yeah, it's like playing a Broadway play. Boston is the greatest place to play baseball. I've always loved Boston. I haven't been back here since '99, the All-Star break, the All-Star game where I caught Hank Aaron's first pitch for the home run derby. But there's no place like Boston. The fans are the greatest there's ever been.
You're managing a minor league team now.
Yes, I'm in the independent baseball in the Southeastern League at Pensacola Pelicans. Won the championship and was manager of the year. So it's all real exciting. But, you know, I picked the Boston Red Sox and the Cubs in the World Series. And everybody's laughing at me at the beginning of the year, but the Red Sox are going to catch the Yankees.
That's twice in a week now we've heard Red Sox Cubs. Bernie, did you learn a lot now? If you knew what you know as a manager now, if you knew that when you were a player, how much would that have changed things?
I couldn't play for me. I have so many rules. I would have broke every rule when I was a player. Somebody said, Carbo, you're a manager now. He says, but you, as a player, you couldn't play for you.
Bernie Carbo.
It's kind of funny.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Go Red Sox.
People always talk about the Carlton Fisk home run, but you got to remember his home run in the 8th inning of that game, guys.
That's right. You don't get to the Carlton Fisk home run if it wasn't for Bernie Carbo. 2-2. Back off Wakefield. Kicks out towards Nomars. It turns out a better thing, and he throws out Roberto Alomar. One of those that worked the right way for the Red Sox for a change here. And there's 2 down. Let's take a look at the game summary in this one. Carlos Lee with a single, a solo home run. It was 29th of the year. Valentin with an RBI single at the time to give the White Sox a 2-0 lead. Johnny Damon's got 2 singles and a run scored to bring the Red Sox back within a run. Malone's gone 4 innings, giving up 1 run is unearned. Tim Wakefield, 4 2/3, charged with 2 runs. Tim has 6 strikeouts tonight to just 1 walk. As he works with 2 down here in the 5th inning, Wakefield has thrown 71 pitches tonight. And here's Carlos Lee, who has been troublesome for Wakefield tonight.
That Bernie Carbo home run coming after one of the ugliest swings you'll ever see to foul the ball off. And then the huge home run to straightaway center field. It is hard to believe that Bernie Carbo is a manager now.
Did he break a few rules? This is a cue shot down the first baseline. Wakefield racing over. Now Millar's got to get to the bag. Wakefield tried to tag him and could not get the job done. Millar was heading over to handle the ball. Then Wakefield decided he would get it and tried to make the put out himself and could not.
And 2 guys determined that they could make the play, both Wakefield and Millar. And then by the time Tim got to it, he looked toward first base and felt more comfortable going there on his own. I think if he does flip to Millar, they may have him, but he decided to try to take that on his own and couldn't quite make the play. on Carlos Lee. He wanted the bag first, then he went for the tag, couldn't get it.
So an infield hit for Carlos Lee, and his 3rd hit of the game. White Sox have 5 hits, and Lee's got 3 of them as they give Frank Thomas a chance with 2 outs in the inning and a runner at first, and Mirabelli's going to head out and talk to Tim Wakefield.
Probably just to give Wakefield an extra half a minute or so after trying to make that play over at first base. Well, get the Globe's award-winning sports coverage every day. Call 1-800-984-5335 for 50% off home delivery. The Boston Globe, your world unfolding daily.
Two down in the inning. Carlos Lee at first base. Frank Thomas stands in. Career 416 home runs and 1,379 RBIs. Both franchise records. It's also trying to become the 3rd player, 4th time in club history, to lead the American League in home runs, joining Bill Melton, who had 33 in 1971 to lead the league, and Dick Allen, who had 37 in 1972 and 32 in 1974. And to begin the ball game tonight, Frank Thomas only behind A-Rod in terms of home runs.
Familiar name on that list, Bill Melton. He was a teammate of mine in Anaheim for a year, right toward the end of his career.
That one falls in there for a strike, and it's 2-1. Red Sox ranked 3rd in the AL, now with 206 home runs. Largely because of Frank Thomas, who has 40 home runs this season. He's hit 6 straight games at 350. And he lines this down the left field line, foul, back into the seats. We mentioned that A-Rod 2 ahead of Frank Thomas. Jason Giambi is in behind Frank Thomas with 37. Carlos Lee with his home run tonight now has 29. Mirabelli having to lunge to his left to rescue that one, and it's a full count.
Yeah, that knuckleball actually came back toward Mirabelli. He was kind of diving out to his right to backhand it, and then it kind of darted back toward him. Gives you an idea how tough it is to catch that knuckleball. The oversized glove.
There first goes, swinging and missing is Thomas. Enraged as he walks away, takes with him the 7th strikeout for Wakefield. White Sox on top 2-1. Back at Fenway as we head to the last half of the 5th inning. 2-1, White Sox on top. Check out the Heineken What's on Tap. Final game against the White Sox here at 1:30 tomorrow right here on Nesson. Then the Devil Rays will be in town Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. All the start times at 6:30. All the action right here on Nesson. Kevin Millar leads it off as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Millar, Miller, and Mirabelli. Millar hit one to the warning track his first time up in left field. It was retired as Carlos Lee made the catch back shy of the wall. With 89 RBIs, Millar is 1 RBI shy of giving the Red Sox 4 players with at least 90 RBIs for the first time since 1986. While Trot Nixon has 85 RBIs, currently listed as day-to-day, and Jason Varitek has 83. So a couple guys on the cusp of perhaps reaching the 90 RBI plateau, but Millar the closest. Sends it on the ground this time to Valentine. High throw, but Canerco's got it, and Millar is out number 1. Yeah, let's see if we can get a better look at this up there. The Comcast-Nesson combination up there on the Pro, and there's definitely a date there in HD.
Yeah, 9:15. That's Monday, HD. Home delivery, maybe? I'm not sure.
What do you think that means?
Put it together. Nesson, Comcast, HD on Monday. Maybe they're delivering a new television through Comcast that'll be dropped off at Nesson. I'm not sure.
Home delivery. That's pretty cool, though, how they got it up there on the Pro. It's kind of like, you know, the Batman signal.
Kind of like what?
The Batman signal. You know, when they were looking for Batman, Commissioner Gordon, they would put it up on the tallest building in Gotham City to notify Batman that his presence was needed. You don't remember that, obviously.
No.
You know, to Bill Miller. And their first strike that time, 3-1. Red Sox have been held to 2 hits by Bartolo Colon. Same guy has them both. Johnny Damon tonight. Bill Miller juices one to deep center field. Everett heading back onto the track to make the catch in front of the wall. It almost looked like he was headed over the wrong shoulder, but he made the adjustment in the end, and he makes the catch on Bill Miller for out number 2.
Now, Bill Miller really, with any luck at all, could be 2 for 2 in this game. Alomar robbed him of a base hit back in the 3rd inning. Now Carl Everett with a great play in straightaway center field. Had to readjust, turn around again, and makes the play right in front of the padding on that center field wall. Second time Miller's hit the ball hard, but 0 for 2 because of a couple of very good defensive plays.
Well, if anybody knows center field here at Fenway Park, certainly Carl Everett is one of those guys who has had a chance to man it out there. Told me last year that he never really figured out where to stand, even though he was a regular here for a few years, all because of the triangle. He said it was always kind of a tough place for him. He never really knew where he should stand here at Fenway. Was much easier away from Fenway Park.
I would imagine, Don, you know, you're used to having that round fence behind you as a center fielder. When you look out toward that triangle, you turn around, there's all that space, so maybe you feel like you're out of position.
Two down in the inning. Mirabelli, a strikeout victim his first time up. Malone has 2 strikeouts through 4 2/3 innings. Now towards right center field. Over comes Ordonez, right fielder to secure out number 3. In order to go the Red Sox, we played 5. White Sox on top 2-1.
Well, that's sure a lot of people are going to McDonald's. I wonder what the heck's going on?
Hey, it's manja time at McDonald's. They got mozzarella sticks that melt in your mouth, a chicken breast Parmesan sandwich with lots of marinara sauce and mozzarella, even a premium chicken Caesar salad with shaved Parmesan. Manja at, surprise, McDonald's.
McDonald's. Is that an Italian name?
You don't got. Check this out.
Dodge Ram 1500. The Hemi legend continues. Grab Dodge's 770 powertrain limited warranty, plus 0% financing or $2,500 cash allowance. Ford, Chevy, and Toyota don't match this. woods.
Back at Fenway as we head to the top half of the 6th inning. White Sox on top 2-1. Well-pitched ball game into the 6th. Tim Wakefield and Bartolo Colon. The middle game of the 3-game series between the White Sox and Red Sox. And the only visit of the year for the White Sox. Aglio Ordonez with the big cut. And the count 1-1. Popped out to the first baseman Millar in the first inning. And then lined out to right in the 4th. Twins and White Sox tied atop the American League Central to begin the night. The Minnesota Twins are at Cleveland. We're in the 5th inning. A scoreless ball game there tonight in Cleveland. Jerry Manuel undoubtedly be looking out that scoreboard from time to time tonight. Chopped down the third baseline slowly. Bill Miller throwing on the run and in time to get Ordonez. Another fine play turned in by Bill Miller.
Stay tuned after the game for W.B. Mason's Extra Innings, New England's Red Sox post-game show with extra highlights, extra interviews, and extra analysis, hosted by Bob Rogers and a lineup of studio analysts. After the last inning, the action is just beginning, and tonight, a couple of guests. Dr. Bill Morgan, Red Sox team doctor, will be on the post-game show, and also Lou Merlone will be part of the post-game show tonight.
Sure, Dr. Morgan will be updating Red Sox Nation on Trot Nixon's situation. Swing and a miss by Carl Everett. Sounds like, in listening to Grady before the ball game, that it's one of those things that if they rush Trot back, which is I'm sure what Trot would like to do, it could be more serious for him than set him back. So they have to be very careful in getting him back, but certainly good news that it's not anything worse than they first thought. And we'll learn more, I'm sure, after the game from Dr. Morgan. 1-1 hit a ton to right down towards the pole, but bending foul. Everett out ahead of that pitch. With 27 home runs on the season, 9 as a Chicago White Sox hitter, and he's been hit by the pitch. So a one-out base runner here for the White Sox.
That's the 10th batter that Wakefield has hit this season. Knuckleball inside, and looks like it gets Everett right off the tricep area.
Paul Konerko.
Everett at first, one down, and here's Paul Konerko. Got it into 22 double plays, tied for first in the American League with Hideki Matsui of the Yankees. Konerko struck out swinging in the 2nd inning, and he walked in the 4th. Another check at first base on Everett. Tim Wakefield's now thrown 90 pitches tonight. 58 for strikes. And for a strike now to Paul Konerko. Wakefield with 7 strikeouts tonight. Tim Wakefield 4 times this season has struck out 8. That's his season high. But tonight 7 so far. Maybe adding to it shortly as Konerko goes lunging, and it's 0-2.
That's been quite surprising, but Wakefield has been in the top 10 in strikeouts now for, I'd say, for about a month. As I mentioned, tonight came in 9th in the league. Who'll add to that total. Colon 7th in the league coming into the game tonight.
Colon's only had 2 strikeouts through the first 5 innings. We got Marabelli and Kapler back-to-back in the third. This one grounded to short. Garcia Parra second for one. On the first. Millar holds on with his foot on the bag for the back end of the double play. It gets Tim Wakefield out of any trouble here in the sixth. Played 5.5 from Fenway. Chicago on top 2-1.
These everyday low fares to your favorite vacation destinations start at just $49.
You are now free to move about the country.
This is a special birthday for Jimmy, because after waiting 3 years in foster care, he was adopted. But he's lucky. Thousands of kids, some older, some with brothers and sisters, still wait for the love and protection of a family. If you have room in your home and your heart, think about adopting. You'll end up enriching a lot of lives, especially yours.
Come on! Time for cake!
It could be the most rewarding thing you'll ever do.
Skate! It's Hollywood and hockey back on the ice again as hockey's greatest skate for America's bravest at the 4th annual Celebrity Hat Trick.
Here comes Bart.
Oh! Don't miss NHL legends and your favorite stars teaming up to benefit the Leary Firefighters Foundation.
By the way, cheating is not beyond us.
Catch all the action Sunday, September 28th at the Fleet Center in Boston. Call now for tickets or log on to LearyFirefighters.org.
For extra convenience, extra value, and extra service, stop at Extra Mart. When you're on the go, you need a little extra. Fuel up on Extra Mart's Deli Joe sandwiches, Brew Boy coffee, and more. For your car, Extra Mart offers the brands you know at competitive prices.
Pick up irresistibly delicious, extra nutritious Nesquik, now on sale for only 99 cents at Extra Mart. Nesquik, milk made fun.
With over 150 locations throughout New England, be smart. Shop Extra Mart.
Last of the sixth inning back at Fenway Park. Gabe Kapler, Johnny Damon, and Todd Walker to bat in the inning, and quite a play there at the end of last inning.
Yeah, Todd Walker really got cleaned out good by Carl Everett trying to break up that double play, but he still gets the throw off, and a nice play at the other end by Kevin Millar. But you know, as a second baseman, Carl Everett is going to come in hard and try to get you every time, and he does get him there, but to Walker's credit, he turns over the double play.
Unfortunate that he walked away from that situation unharmed. This is lined and caught at third by Joe Creedy. A quick lunge to his left, and he brings it in for out number one. Well, we'd like to welcome tonight's visitors to the Dunkin' Dugout. Dunkin' Donuts is proud to host area youth and charity organizations at every Red Sox home game. And as always, we'd like to thank Dunkin' Donuts for providing our broadcast crew with refreshments. Dunkin' Donuts, just the thing. One down for Johnny Damon, who has 2 hits tonight, the only hits off Bartolo Colon. Mentioned the last time the Red Sox faced Bartolo Colon, he gave up just 2 hits. They were both home runs, and he was the loser. Going the complete game, and Johnny Damon has his 3rd hit of the night. A one-out single back up the middle into center field.
Well, the first 2 times up, he tried fastballs. This time he goes to the breaking ball, and Johnny Damon picks up his 3rd hit of the night. As the breaking ball by Colon stays out over the plate, it is down, but Damon right back up the middle for the base hit.
So Damon at first base. Here's Todd Walker with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And he takes strike 1 from Bartolo Colon. Walker is lined out to right and grounded out to second base. 0 for 2 so far tonight. Well, down 0-2. Cologne has thrown 67 pitches so far here tonight. 41 for strikes as he works in the bottom of the 6th inning with 1 down. Damon gains his lead again at first, and again Cologne over to first base again. Wider lead now for Damon. The 0-2 lined into right field, a base hit. Damon up 90 feet to second base on the single by Todd Walker. Red Sox have 2 on with 1 away.
Almost seemed like a lot of the concentration for Cologne was on Johnny Damon at first base, and makes a mistake on the 0-2 pitch. It's a changeup to Todd Walker, 0-2. The ball outside, but he still hooked it for the base hit. So first time tonight, the Red Sox have had back-to-back base hits against Cologne.
And the first time someone other than Johnny Damon has a hit. Red Sox now with 4 in the game. Damon has 3 hits. And Todd Walker has one of his own now. Well, here's Garcia Parra, 2 on, 1 away. Omar with a sacrifice fly back in the 4th inning to give the Red Sox their lone run of the night. Hard stuff, 92 miles per hour, missing. It high in the air to center field. Everett wandering back onto the warning track, front of the wall to make the catch. Damon will tag at second and move over to third base on the long fly ball to straightaway center field. Garcia Parra is out number 2.
Well, again, not much of a breeze here tonight. Normally in the summer, that wind blowing straight out, that ball's got a chance to carry out of the ballpark. Tonight, it just falls short of the center field wall. See Nomar's eyes light up when he made contact. He thought maybe he had enough of it. Damon will tag and move on to third base.
As you can see, that flag is very still out there in left center field. Damon at third base, Todd Walker at first, 2 down. Here's Manny Ramirez. And he grounded out to second base in the 2nd inning. He walked in the 4th. With 2 outs and runners in scoring position, and even 400 for Manny Ramirez. Tops in the AL.
And Manny really has had the better of the matchups against Cologne, his former teammate. 455 coming into the game.
Tying run 90 feet away in Johnny Damon at third. Todd Walker at first. Strike 2 to Ramirez.
Well, that's a tough call there. Instead of the count being 1-1, that immediately puts Ramirez in an 0-2 hole.
Going to be on the low side.
Yeah, and that's one of the few times you see Manny look back at an umpire. Very seldom does he have anything at all to say.
Down 0-2. Too far outside that time. 1-2.
Everything to Manny from Cologne in this game has been away.
1-2. Ramirez in on the hands, just flips it to the first baseman. Konerko makes the catch as Ramirez gets jammed, and the Red Sox strand 2 in the 6th. We played 6, 2-1 Chicago. On Nesson is brought to you by Dodge and by Samuel Adams Boston Lager. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy along with Tom Caron back at Fenway Park as we head to the top half of the 7th inning. The Red Sox stranding 2 in the bottom of the 6th inning, including Johnny Damon at third base. And it's on to the 7th. Red Sox still trailing by a run. Jose Valentin, Joe Creedy, and Miguel Olivo out here in the top half of the 7th inning. Valentin with a single and a run batted in tonight against Tim Wakefield. Wakefield has now thrown 95 pitches tonight. And it looks like the Red Sox are going to have action in the bullpen, perhaps for the first time tonight. This is lifted foul down the right field line, back and out of play. Scott Williamson up in the Red Sox bullpen. Through 2 misses, and it's a full count to Valentin. Solo home run here last night as he pops one up foul back below us. He's hit 25 home runs in each of his 4 seasons with the White Sox. Been very consistent in that area. He fouls off another, still a full count.
It was a great job of pitching last inning by Colon to get Manny Ramirez to get that fly ball to end the inning. Set him up very well. Everything was away from him. Then he finally comes in with a fastball and jam Manny.
Here's ball 4 to leadoff walk here for Valentin to begin the 7th.
Take a look at that last at bat. First of all, the pitch is away from Colon, the strike. And this is a tough one here that really puts Manny in the hole. 0-2. Wastes another one away, and then finally inside and jams Ramirez. Probably the first time all night that he did come inside on Manny, and he picked the right time to do it.
Second walk given up by Tim Wakefield tonight, and the White Sox have the lead man on. Creedy 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded out to third and popped out to the shortstop. Good size lead at first for Valentin. He doesn't go, and Creedy takes the strike.
Valentin with 6 steals on the season, caught 3 times.
Pitch out, nothing doing, and Valentin back to the bag at first.
0-1, never really a good pitch to go on because of that. That's kind of an open invitation for the opposing manager to pitch out. Some guys will do it back to back.
There goes Valentin, the 1-1 in there for a strike, and the throw down not in time.
He got a great jump down at first base. Really good jump that time by Valentin. Looks like he had Wakefield timed perfectly as he takes off. As soon as he sees a little movement from Wakefield, he's gone, and really Mirabelli had no chance at all. Well, again, another slide that almost comes up short at second base.
The 7th theft of the year has him in scoring position with nobody out. This one softly grounded down the third base line. Miller sees the runner, doesn't get him, and has no play at first afterwards. So Valentin was sprinting to third. Bill Miller thought he may be able to get him at third base, back it up, but he can't, and everybody's safe.
Now, that was certainly a gamble taken by Valentin that comes out in his favor. As soon as Miller has to come in front of the bag to make the play on this, that's going to give enough room for Valentin to get into third. And from that point, no chance at all for Miller to go to first base. That goes as a base hit for Joe Creedy. So a gamble taken by Valentin, but it pays off.
You know, he's just 90 feet away with nobody out here in the top half of the 7th inning. Creedy at first base on the infield hit. And here's the number 9 hitter, Miguel Olivo, who Tim Wakefield has struck out twice tonight.
Olivo on the season only 17 walks with 74 strikeouts now after the 2 tonight.
Swing and a miss, and he's down 0-2. He's certainly known more for his defense than his offensive prowess. I think he's now in a 3-2 lead in that second game of the doubleheader with Tampa Bay. The 0-2. Just missing. And it's 1-2.
Wakefield snapping at the ball as it comes back from Merrill Belly. He thought he may have had that third strike. Ball called up and in, though, by Angel Hernandez.
Wakefield at 108 pitches. Brings the 1-2, and he struck him out for the third time tonight. Olivo becomes strikeout number 8 for Tim Wakefield, and didn't really needed a strikeout right there, and he gets one.
Now, Olivo really has had big-time troubles with the knuckleball. This is a very good one. The bottom just falls out of it. Third time that he's punched out, and a huge strikeout leaves those men at first and third.
Now, a double play could get Tim Wakefield out of the inning unscathed. But a tough customer at the plate in Roberto Alomar. Wakefield has handled so far tonight. 0 for 3 is Alomar. And a pitch in the hands for ball 1.
Alomar also presents the danger of the possible bunt. I'm not saying squeeze, but he'll bunt a lot on his own.
281 with runners in scoring position. Valentin at third. Creedy over at first base. This one in the air to center field, sending Johnny Damon back. Under the base of the warning track, makes the catch plenty deep enough for Valentin to tag up and score. And the White Sox third run of the night. Chicago goes back on top by 2 again. It's now 3-1 White Sox.
Joe Creedy had rounded second base, but he did re-tag. Right there, they're looking to the second base umpire to see if they could get an appeal call at second base, but he did tag. I was watching him closely. The ball hit deep by Alomar. No question they're going to get the run in from third. Creedy was at second, did re-tag, and went back to first base.
So 2 down. Creedy still at first, and here's Carlos Lee, who has 3 hits off Tim Wakefield tonight. 2 singles and the home run for Carlos Lee. And has an RBI now. 101 RBIs for the White Sox number 2 hitter, Carlos Lee. And sharply to third. Bill Miller will go to second base for the final out of the inning. But the White Sox do get a run. It's 7th inning stretch time from Fenway. Chicago on top 3-1.
75 cents a beer.
David Ortiz to lead it off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Red Sox trailing by 2. White Sox on top now 3-1. Ortiz 0 for 2. He's grounded out to second base and back to the mound. Malone brings it inside this time for a strike, and Ortiz has some words for Angel Hernandez. Ramirez last inning, David Ortiz this inning.
Take a look from directly over top. Looks like it plays a little bit inside. I did mention earlier, though, Hernandez has been pretty consistent. He's had a fairly big strike zone tonight. Which I guess after a night like last night is not the worst thing to have.
Now the 1-2 to Ortiz. Sends it in the air to left center field. Back goes Carlos Lee into his left, making the catch shy of the track for out number 1. Ortiz looking in towards home plate there as he walks off.
I would say that he's lumbering off the field right now.
He'll get another look in, I think, before he gets to the dugout. He's already looked back towards home plate twice. He's got one more in him. There you go.
Well, he was on deck when he saw the call on Manny last inning. Then he felt like he did not get a good call on that at bat. And Colon, who's throwing very well, one thing you don't want to do is fall in the hole, that's for sure.
Lar 0 for 2 tonight. He's flying to the track and left and grounded out to shortstop. Carl Everett a step or two towards right center for Millar to go the opposite way. And they work him away into that outside corner for a strike. 1-2. The Sox have been held to 4 hits tonight. Johnny Damon has 3 of those 4 hits. So Bartolo Colon in his last inning plus against the Red Sox has surrendered just 6 hits. Not been many who have stymied the Red Sox offense, but Colon, last time out in here tonight, has been one of those guys. All 9 against the Red Sox last time out, giving up just the 2 hits. Both were home runs. Millar goes the opposite way, falling fast. Ordonez on the run will run it down. Had to go a long way to get it. And he does for out number 2.
Well, John, I look around this ballpark. This is a huge crowd here tonight. You saw the monster seats. Looks like a lot of standing room tickets. Up in the back of the monster seats.
Packed in here tonight.
Saturday nights have done very well here at Fenway.
Looking up there reminds me of all the lobster we enjoyed. Was it a week ago tonight? I guess it was.
Yeah, a week ago. Did you check out the website? Did you see the pictures?
I saw some pictures on there. Very, very nice. You captured really the festivities very well. In the air to left field. This will send Lee back front of the wall. He leaps and makes the catch. Had no more room in which to work with. He's stuck to the wall.
Oh, my goodness.
He's going to need some help. 3-1 White Sox. Thanks, Carl.
Back at Fenway, 3-1 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. The White Sox have the lead. Well, stay tuned after the game for W.B. Mason's Extra Innings, New England's Red Sox postgame show with extra highlights, extra interviews, and extra analysis. After the last inning, the action is just beginning tonight. Dr. Bill Morgan will be a guest along with Lou Merlone, joining Bob Rogers and Jim Rice on the W.B. Mason's Extra Innings postgame show.
Scott Williamson, the new pitcher for the Red Sox, as we head to the top half of the 8th inning.
Williamson making his 19th appearance for the Red Sox. 0-1. Last time he worked was Monday. That was against the Orioles. 2 2/3 in that game. Allowed 1 earned run.
Frank Thomas leading it off was 0 for 3 against Tim Wakefield as he flied out to left field and struck out twice against Tim Wakefield. Wakefield went 7 innings tonight, giving up 6 hits, 3 runs. He walked 2 and struck out 8. And Tim on the hook here with the Red Sox trailing by 2 runs, down 3-1 in the Chicago 8th inning. Gibson into the game, and the Red Sox have right-handed action in the bullpen as he begins the inning. Thomas fouls it off the right side. 2-2.
Kind of a strange way to end last inning. Carlos Lee going back to the wall and getting hooked on the wall where they hang those team plates. That is uniform top hooked on one of those plates and had to be helped by somebody
off the hook.
Yeah, get off the hook. Look at that.
He was
right on
out
Texas.
there.
He's hanging on Texas.
And a former Texas Ranger came over to get him off the hook, and Carl Everett. Swing and a miss. Third time tonight that Frank Thomas has struck out one away. Let's check in with Tom Karen. Tom?
Don, thank you. It's time for our Citizens Bank Not Your Typical Fan. John, what's going on here?
We have a family gathering here. Kristen, who's, I think, 3 letters down. We're getting married in January.
And this is the first time the two families have met.
Exactly. This is her brother, Jamie. Brother-in-law, Darren.
It's only half inning. We can't go through all the names, but everybody's here together. Shouldn't you guys be sitting next to each other?
That is a good point, but in the whole skirmish of getting the letters together, we somehow got a little disoriented together. But
we'll have to work on that.
That's right. We're going to work on that. We got some time.
Love will make it all work out. Guys, back to you.
All right, Tom. Thank you very much. Baglio Ordonez is a batter with 1 out.
What's amazing about that, Don, is 2 families united by marriage. But it's incredible how 2 different families have the same moss. Unbelievable.
I wonder how, if they didn't really know each other before this, I mean, they'd never come together like this, how they decided on that kind of moss. Lined up and over the glove of Walker into right field. Tried to time his leap. May have skimmed the top of the glove. He may have missed it entirely also, but Ordonez stands at first base with 1 down.
Baglio Ordonez shooting the line drive up over the head of Todd Walker. Fastball from Williamson. Ordonez a great hitter. Hit this ball hard, and Walker goes into the leap. Can't quite make the play. And Ordonez picks up his first hit of the night.
So Ordonez at first base with 1 down. Amazing to think of how he struggled in the first half of the season. A very good hitter, very consistent over the years. There's Carl Everett, 1 for 2. He's also been hit by a pitch. Everett singling and scoring in the 4th inning. And came to the aid of his left fielder, Carlos Lee, to get him off the hook of the wall out there in left field last inning. Ordonez back to the bag. Tim Wakefield tonight threw 112 pitches, 73 for strikes. And his 8 strikeouts matches his season high 5 times. Tim Wakefield has now done that. Swing and a miss as Everett down 0-2.
Williamson's had a very good slider. That's what he got to Frank Thomas on to start this inning. Another good slider here to Carl Everett.
The Sox infield a double play depth with Ordonez at first and 1 down.
Arabelli's standing up behind home plate like he wanted the fastball up. Instead, Williamson went to first base. I wonder if Everett picked that up. We'll see what Doug does this time.
It's like Carl's stance from the left side is a little bit more open than I remember. That point is on top of the plate with that open stance. Still very close. Swings and misses and strikes out. Williamson's 2nd strikeout since coming on. There's 2 down, and the Fenway faithful love that.
Well, you're right on both counts, Don. First of all, they do go upstairs with the fastball to pick up the strikeout, and Everett was working from an open stance. He did pull that front foot in right at the last minute, but you remember his stance in Boston where that right foot was right on top of the plate. Open this time and then brought it back toward home plate as he started to swing. Or I should say just prior to his swing.
Well, Two down in the inning. Ordonez still at first. Here's Paul Konerko. 0 for 2 with a walk. Grounded into a double play his last time out. Red Sox briefly had right-handed action in the bullpen. Now nobody is warming as Williamson gets out number 2 of the inning. He's looked very sharp since coming on. Popped up, foul ground. Mirabelli coming back, the mask in hand. He'll lean in and make the catch into the first row. White Sox are gone to the top of the 8th inning. We head to the bottom of the 8th. 3-1 Chicago. A new center fielder for the White Sox. Aaron Rowan takes over for Carl Everett in center. Red Sox have a pinch hitter. It's Jason Varitek who swings at the first pitch, grounds it to Alomar, who throws out Varitek for the first out here in the bottom of the 8th. Let's take a look at the game summary. Bartolo Colon, 7 1/3, 1 run. It was unearned on 4 hits. Tim Wakefield on the hook right now. 7 innings, 3 runs, 6 hits. He did strike out 8. Walked 2. Carlos Lee with a couple singles. Home run number 29 for him. Valentin with a single, a walk, and RBI. And Johnny Damon has 3 of 4 Boston hits tonight. Dave Kapler batting with 1 down in the inning. Kapler 0 for 2, a strikeout and a lineup.
Don, earlier we mentioned that Colon is working on back-to-back complete games. He's got 7 total on the season, tied with Roy Halladay, the leader in the American League, Mark Mulder. He has 9.
It's the second time this season that he's thrown back-to-back complete games. Softly chopped to Alomar. The throw is high, but Konerko able to come up with it. And there's 2 down.
Well, the Bruins are back for 2003-2004, and the season starts October 8th against the defending Stanley Cup champion New Jersey Devils. For individual game tickets, call 617-624-BEAR or log on to bostonbruins.com. That is the official first reading of a promo for the Boston Bruins this year.
It won't be long now, Jerry, before you are parked in your chair in your estate and watching the Bruins season.
I go right through Tom Caron, right through every minute of the game, and finish up with Tom Caron.
Two down. Johnny Damon has 3 hits tonight off Bartolo Colon. Red Sox have 4. Johnny's got 3 of the 4, the other belonging to Todd Walker. As he takes the strike and the count 1-1.
Rick Middleton and the gang all back. Cam Neely.
So I don't know. Did a very nice job last year, Cam Neely.
It's great, you know. I watch the news and then I shift right over to Nesson and pick up the pregame show. Makes the winter fly by.
There's the 2-1. That will miss. Bartolo Colon has thrown 91 pitches tonight, 57 for strikes. And behind Damon, 3-1. There's a strike and a full count. Since the start of 2002, he has 15 complete games. That is the most in baseball. 3 more than Juan Hernandez. This is slowly grounded over by the Red Sox dugout. Foul. Tied for second, Roy Halladay. Mark Mulder on top with 9 for the Oakland A's.
Halladay, the only 20-game winner in the American League. Esteban Loaiza, who the Red Sox will miss in this series, has 19 wins.
Bartolo Colon now 30 years of age. 3-2 missing high, and Damon on for the 4th time tonight. This time via the walk. That's an area that was certainly troublesome here last night, and to Cologne's credit, only the second walk that he has given up tonight over 7 2/3 innings.
Yeah, he is pretty much taking care of that problem tonight for the Chicago White Sox.
The Red Sox have action in their pen. Looks like Yun Kim up in the Red Sox pen. Here's Todd Walker. Missing up and away. Look at the Red Sox bullpen where Yun is warming up.
There's somebody else throwing out there too. Kim probably in case the Red Sox tie this or were to take the lead in this inning. Looks like Brandon Lyon also throwing in the bullpen.
1-0 Carr foul, 1-1. Cologne last time out at New York. Actually, I take that back. Last time out against Minnesota for 117 pitches. 117 against the Red Sox as well in those complete games for Cologne. He's at 97 right now. With 2 outs in the 8th. A foul ball, 1-2. The most pitches he has thrown in any game this season. 132 pitches back on May 20th against Toronto. And he had 123 at New York on the 27th of August. Log a lot of innings, throw a lot of pitches. And at first, Walker the potential tying run at the plate. Jumps back out of the way, and it evens up at 2-2. Again off the left side, and Walker protecting the plate. Still 2-2. Red Sox scoring their only run tonight back in the 4th inning. They left 2 on in the 6th, including Johnny Damon at third base back in the 6th inning. Now at first. And the 2-2 to right field. Ordonez going back, still going. He won't get there. This will one hop up into the bullpen. A ground rule double, which will be costly for the Red Sox, as it will send Johnny Damon back to third. He would have scored, but the ground rule double sends him back to third.
Yeah, the double cost the Red Sox 1 run. There's no question that Damon was going to score. Todd Walker probably would have ended up right where he is at second base. Ordonez going back. He can't get to it. There's the bounce, and right off the top of the bullpen wall, in for the ground rule double. So instead of being 3-2 with Walker at second base, it's still 3-1 with a couple of men in scoring position for Garciaparra.
Don Cooper, the pitching coach, headed to the mound to talk to Bartolo Colon. Will have the first action of the game in the White Sox bullpen now as a left-hander has jumped up. It's Tommaso Marte in the bullpen.
And it looks like Damian Jackson pinch running at second base for Todd Walker.
Todd Walker heads off. Couple of hits tonight. This ground rule double, his second. And the Red Sox with the potential tying runs in scoring position now. Damon standing at third. Damian Jackson at second. Here's Garciaparra 0 for 2 with a sac fly tonight. This will bring 34,414 to their feet. Colon trying to throw it through his catcher at 98 miles per hour that time. 87 two-out RBIs, second most on the Red Sox. David Ortiz first in that category with 41. Omar pops it up foul. See if it reaches the seats. Back comes Olivo, the catcher, and he can't make the play. Up 4 rows deep and out of his reach.
Now this would be the absolute perfect time for Garciaparra to break out of the slump that he's been in.
0 for 2 tonight and 3 for his last 29. Colon's thrown 103 pitches. The 1-1. Nomar swings and misses. They went on top that time at 97 miles per hour.
Yeah, I think he had a little extra pop on that one.
Oh.
97. We told you early in the game that this guy just gets stronger as the game goes on. There's a good example right there.
Johnny Damon at third. Damian Jackson at second base. 2 down. Alone with the 1-2. Nomar pops it up foul back and out of play. Sox had 2 on and 1 away in the 6th when Colon was able to get Garciaparra to fly out to center for a sacrifice fly. They get Ramirez to pop out to first to get out of any further trouble. 2 in scoring position in the bottom of the 8th inning. Up at 2-2.
Let's see now if he goes back upstairs with a fastball. 2 in a row upstairs that Nomar did swing at the foul off. Tries the breaking ball. Let's see what he does now on the 2-2 count. You think if you're going to get beat, you get beat on your best pitch. His best pitch is his fastball.
Colon staring in to find out what he'll throw. Revo gives him a sign. The 2-2. Nomar lifts it in the air to shallow right center field. Out goes the second baseman Alomar, camped underneath, and makes the catch for the final out of the 8th. The Red Sox strand 2 in scoring position. We played 8. White Sox on top 3-1. Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, by New England Ford dealers, and by the Bone and Joint Center at Carrots House, St. Elizabeth, where you don't have to be an all-star to be treated like one. Now back at Fenway Park, the Red Sox stranding 2 in scoring position in the bottom of the 8th. It's on to the 9th now. Red Sox dealing with a 2-run deficit, and Damian Jackson, who had run for Todd Walker, takes over for him defensively at second base. And Jason Varitek, who pinch hit for Doug Mirabelli in the last half of the 8th, takes over as the Red Sox catcher for Mirabelli. He will catch a new pitcher, Brandon Lyon.
44th appearance for Lyon. He is 4-5 on the season. All those appearances out of the bullpen. It's been a while since he worked. As a matter of fact, it was against Chicago back on September 2nd. A third of an inning in that ball game. Gave up 1 hit.
Jose Valentin, number 7 hitter in the White Sox order and shortstop. Singled in. Drove in a run in this game. He's also walked. At the lip of the grass at third is Miller. Scott Williamson worked the 8th inning an inning giving up a hit. He did not allow a run. He did not walk anybody. And he struck out 2. On the ground right side. Damian Jackson just into the game. Throws out Valentine.
Now this copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Boston Red Sox may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. In addition, the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Boston Red Sox. And Don, best wishes to Johnny Welch, who's recovering from a shoulder problem. Plays at St. Anselm's College.
One down, Joe Creedy, the hitter. He reached on an infield hit his last time up. Brandon Lyon, third pitcher used tonight by the Red Sox. Tim Wakefield on the hook. As Tim went 7 innings tonight, giving up 3 runs, 6 hits, walked 2, and struck out 8. In the air to left field. Ramirez wandering back, camped underneath, takes care of out number 2.
Now it looks like Colon will be going for his 3rd straight complete game as there is no activity in the bullpen for the White Sox.
Martin had been up last inning and even to begin this inning, but he has since sat down out there in the bullpen.
And he did see what Colon did with Nomar, went back to his best pitch, the fastball, and then Garcia power to pop up with a couple of men on.
Here's Miguel Olivo, who's had a tough night. He is 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts. All of that was against Tim Wakefield. As we look ahead to the bottom of the 9th, Manny Ramirez, David Ortiz, and Kevin Millar expected in the inning. Anybody gets on, and Bill Miller will have a chance. And then Lyon makes quick work of Miguel Olivo, who strikes out for the 4th time tonight. We head to the last of the 9th. White Sox on top 3-1.
Hi, I'm Brian Kelly. There's an old saying, if it's fact, it's not bragging. The fact is you purchased more Jeeps from Kelly than any other dealer in New England. Fact is you ranked us #1 for sales and service satisfaction. Fact is you love our mobile 5-star service at your home or office.
200 new Jeeps in stock now. 200. See our ad in this weekend's Boston Globe. #1 is #1.
Fact is you will get the best price. Kelly Jeep Chrysler, Route 1 North, Linfield.
Keep your summer going strong and help a very worthy cause. It's the Giant Glass Challenge to benefit the Boys and Girls Club of the Lower Merrimack Valley on Sunday, September 14th at the Salisbury Beach State Reservation. For just $5 per person, you and your family can enjoy a delicious barbecue, a kids' carnival, and more.
This is Dennis Drinkwater from Giant Glass. Bring the whole family for a fun run or walk on the 6 miles of Salisbury Beach to help support the Boys and Girls Club of Lower Merrimack Valley.
Call 978-462-7003.
When you care more about beer, Samuel Adams, always a good decision.
There's a new vanilla in town. Introducing Pepsi Vanilla. The perfect blend of cola and vanilla.
That was awesome.
That's not so vanilla.
On to the last of the 9th inning. White Sox on top 3-1. Colon back on the mound. Manny Ramirez, David Ortiz, and Kevin Millar expected in the last half of the 9th inning. 26 innings pitched, 17 hits, 4 earned runs, 341 pitches. As he goes for his 3rd straight complete game. Ramirez reached base in the 4th inning. He walked. Otherwise, he's grounded out and popped up. On the ground to second base. Alomar picks it up and throws out Ramirez for out number 1.
Well, now it's time for the Sam Adams good decision of the game, and Jose Valentin, after walking and stealing a base, will go to third on this little ground ball. He gets to it safely and then scores on the sacrifice fly by Alomar. Sam Adams, when you're ready for a tasty brew, always a good decision.
Valentin, the White Sox shortstop. David Ortiz 0 for 3 tonight. Ortiz has grounded out twice and has flied out to left field. Inside that time, 1-1. 34,414 on hand here tonight for Game 2 of the 3-game series between the Red Sox and White Sox. Ortiz hits it high in the air but not deep. Coming in, the right fielder Maglio Ordonez to secure out number 2. Red Sox down to their last out.
Red Sox with 5 hits in the game, and all 5 hits the top 2 hitters in the lineup. Johnny Damon with 3 and Todd Walker with 2.
Well, the final game of the series as John Burkett matched up against Mark Burley. The left-hander scheduled to go for the White Sox here tomorrow. Here's Kevin Millar with 2 down. Millar 0 for 3 tonight. Flied out to the track in the 2nd inning, bounced to short in the 5th, and flied to right in the 7th. Evens up at 1-1. Cologne's at 114 pitches tonight. 71 4 strikes. Millar waves at that pitch in the count 1-2.
Now, we've seen Cologne pitch some good games against the Red Sox, but this is the best that I've seen against Boston.
2 hits last time out. He's given up only 5 tonight. The Major League's best offense. A 1-2 pitch. Millar grounds it softly towards Alomar at second base, and the White Sox take Game 2 of the series. A complete game for Bartolo Cologne. He gives up just the 1 run tonight, his 8th complete game this season and his 3rd straight, as he picks up his 14th win of the season.
Now, the Foxwoods chance play of the game, the home run by Carlos Lee, this back in the 4th inning, number 29 on the season for Lee. He had 3 hits on the night. Also got hooked up on the scoreboard making a catch. The Foxwoods chance play of the game.
Still in front of 34,414. The Red Sox lose this one, and their record drops to 86-61 on the season, as Bartolo Cologne goes all the way in this one tonight for the Chicago White Sox to pick up his 14th win of the year. Cologne 14-12 with the victory, and Tim Wakefield taking the loss in this one. He will drop to 10-7. Red Sox only able to muster 5 hits in the ball game tonight, as they are out hit by the Chicago White Sox 7-5, and of course 1 game left in this series, as the Red Sox will take on the White Sox here tomorrow afternoon right here on NESN. John Burkett will be matched up against Mark Burley, and the game time at 2:05. So the Chicago White Sox beat the Red Sox tonight, a final of 3-1. And for Jerry Remy, this is Don Orsillo saying so long from Fenway Park. We now send it to WB Mason's Extra Innings with Bob Rogers and Jim Rice.
Tony, thanks very much. Quiet night for the Red Sox at the plate. Bartolo Cologne, Jimmy, coming just as advertised.
97, even though at the 9th he was still at 98 miles an hour. And of course, when you got Cologne out there, he's going to throw a lot of pitches. But it seemed like as he gets deeper into the game, his miles per hour would get a little faster.
That's 2 starts now against the Red Sox that he has looked terrific. And not a lot of strikeouts tonight, but a great job of pitching. We're going to have Dr. Bill Morgan in studio. We'll find out about the latest on Trot Nixon. And Framingham Louie's back wearing a Red Sox uniform. He will join us as well. WB Mason's Extra Innings is next.